Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is James Sanderson. It's my great pleasure to be your host this evening on our Zoom call, and it's the 16th of November, 2015. This is a weekly call that we run for our team, the Aquila team, and this is a very, very exciting call this week, as they all are. I mean, we're getting the most amazing people on, and we're getting the most fantastic response from these. This week, we have an incredible guest with us. We have the Managing Director of the UK and Ireland, Simon Bowler. I don't really know if Simon needs a great deal of introduction to everyone, but he is by far the most successful Managing Director, country manager in the whole of Juice Plus worldwide. He has got the most incredible energy, drives the business forward like nothing on earth. A lot of people always talk about Katie Ravey being the key element of the growth of our business, and there's no question about that. I mean, Katie has been absolutely incredible and was really the forerunner of the huge new growth of our business. But Simon was absolutely essential in that equation. He was there right by her side, encouraging her, opening the doors, building the road in front of her in many respects, making sure that all the product turned up properly. He really achieved an incredible feat. So we're eternally grateful to Simon, and we're very, very pleased that you're on the call with us this evening. So we're going to turn to Simon in just a few minutes. But before we start, I'm going to turn us to James Knight. And before we start, James is going to promote some upcoming events, just so that we do that at the beginning rather than at the end. So James, are you there? And if you could unmute yourself and come on and tell us about the upcoming events.
Yeah, sure. Right, so basically, we've got a couple of really exciting events coming up. And as you know, events take a lot of energy and effort to set up. So please kindly support if you can. We've got Dr. Nigel Eccles coming to Cardiff on, I believe it's Wednesday the 3rd. It starts at 7:30. And the details are on the Team Dragon page, as well as we'll put it onto the Team Aquila page. If you don't know Dr. Nigel Eccles, he's a specialist in his field of medicine. Okay, he's one of the leading researchers in chronic disease in the world, Harley Street consultant, and it's going to be a great event for. It's just going to be a pure wellness and nutrition event. We're not talking about the business, but we will be talking about the Juice Plus. So it's a great event to try and get family members there, friends there, loved ones, because let's face it, I know disease is all over the place in our society today. And if this is what I'm trying to do, is get my loved ones and my friends and my family all to this event to listen to them speak and see if it can make a positive effect on them. And then we've also got our Christmas party. On the 11th, Dan Furlong's the party organizer, and we've teamed up with different teams. Emma Karen's team and Jeffrey Montague-Smith's team. There's quite a few of us going to be sort of presenting the product and the business opportunities through stories, and we're going to have a really good party as well, and that's in London. Dan Furlong, if you just want to quickly unmute and give everyone the address of that. Dan Furlong, can you unmute?
Hello, James. So I'm just finalising the event flyer with my graphic designer, and I should be releasing it in the next sort of 24, 48 hours. But it's going to be at a venue in Tooting in London. So feel free to add me to Facebook if we're not already connected. And I'm also going to post the event in the London and South East Juice Plus group as well. So everybody's welcome. Come along.
Okay, great. And also, obviously, looking forward to the big event in Birmingham, obviously, next year. Tickets are on sale now. Book up, get on there early, and get yourself a nice hotel. Don't leave it to last minute and start getting the tickets in. So, that's what I'm excited about. And James, back to you.
Great. Well done, James. Yeah, that's fantastic. So then in London, just very quickly, we run 2 meetings a month. And Paula does that absolutely brilliantly. And our next one is on the 3rd of December. And then we will also have the 17th. And we are I'm going to be having some special guests for that, some really special guests. So watch that space, watch this space, and that's going to be something very, very exciting. It's that Down to Earth Cafe, which is in Kensington High Street, the 3rd of December and the 17th. Good. Okay. Right. Well, look, it's now a great pleasure to turn to our special guest. I mean, as I already said, I mean, Simon is really a legend in our business, no question. And there's so much more to do in our business, I know, and he will reiterate that, I know, as we go through this evening. But, we've come a long way in the last 3 years, particularly. But, let's just wind it all the way back to the beginning. And Simon, if you're there, good evening to you.
Thanks, James. Yeah, I'm zooming in tonight from my bedroom. Hope you can see the nice little Juice Plus sign I can never get to sleep because of this as well.
I think it's fantastic. It looks just so superb. And I mean, it's just so illustrative of where we're at. Really fun business, lots of energy. I love it, Simon. We've got a limited amount of time this evening. Obviously, we only want to do, or we try to do just half an hour tonight. But perhaps I could start off with the first question. How long have you been involved with the Juice Plus company, Simon, and what brought you into it?
Great. Sounds like the Spanish Inquisition tonight as well.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes, yes.
I started back in May 1990. I don't know, it feels like the Victorian times now, James. I think those years do. Yeah. But I was a young entrepreneur in my early 20s, and I got a phone call from an American guy saying, look, hey, I've just been to a friend of yours and we're launching this company and these products over in the UK. Are you interested? And I said, yeah, come round and see me. So he did. And of course, at that time, we were in water filtration, and he left me with a water filtration unit. I thought, wow, what an amazing product. So I used that. And then I was very dubious about the company, and I gave my accountant a call the same day. He did a Dun & Bradstreet check. He came back the next day with a 4A2 rating, which meant the company was cash rich, debt free. Short story was, I got involved like a lot of people did in those early 90s, which when there was a recession starting to kick in. And I started part-time and got a lot of success very quickly. And after 6 months, having so much fun, wasn't making any more money than my conventional businesses. But you know what? The fun aspect was just crazy. It was off the clock. And you're probably there at that moment if you're a franchise partner. And anyway, I got involved full-time. And then did a lot of traveling with the company in the early days when it went into Belgium, opened there, and opened into the rest of the Benelux, Holland, then into France. And as a young guy, not married, it was just the best time you could ever have in your life, really, I guess, because the learning curve was so steep as well, as you know, James, going to do business in other countries when you couldn't even speak the language, and you had to converse. It was amazing. Anyway, long story short was I ended up in Hong Kong. And then I got a phone call in 96 to say, do you want to come and join the corporate side of the company? And I was ummed and ahed. I said no at the time. And then we ended up with 2 weeks later, phones and faxes going on. And I said, yes, I'll come back to Europe, but I'm not going to come back and live in the UK. I've had enough of that horrible weather in the UK. I'll come and live in Holland, which I did. And we ended up closing an office in Holland at the time because the European head office was there. And then I moved back to the UK and became the general manager in the UK office. And the year after we took on the Italian business, we ended up closing the UK office in 1998. And between that time, I basically operated out an office at my house for the next 17 years, and we have an office in Milan and jumping on a plane every single week, going backwards and forwards. So that is my sort of history with the company. And here I am today.
Fantastic, Simon. No, that's amazing. And it's amazing how you were sort of keeping the fires burning over 17 years before we have had this utter unbelievable liftoff in the last 3 years. But we'll come back to that a little bit later on. But Simon, we are a different type of company, aren't we? We're not like a normal corporate. And sometimes when people come across us, they can't quite work us out. But in your mind, what is the role of the company in your eyes as it is today, the Juice Plus company? What is the Juice Plus company actually doing?
Yeah, if you look at the history of the company, in the 70s, it turned over $1 billion in what at that time was smoke detection. And they were very innovative products at the time. Nobody had a smoke detector in North America. And certainly nobody in Europe had ever heard of a smoke detector. And look at it now. It's standard in every house. You have to have it. if you're going to get any insurance. So our job really is to find innovative products that really nobody's got, everyone needs, it's priced to sell, and also it's a mass product for the masses that appeals to everybody. But also another important key thing as well, it has to have a repeat aspect, and that's what we have with Juice Plus. Of course, we've got less than 1% of the population in the UK take Juice Plus. It's a massive potential, and it gives you that repeat aspect, which is your residual income each and every month. I mean, James, you've got customers you've had for over 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, and you've been getting commission on those customers in that time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a very interesting thing about the Juice Plus company, is that a lot of people think, well, you know, Juice Plus is our only ever product. But we're really now on our sort of third reincarnation of product introductions, you know, starting with the smoke detectors, then with the water filters, then with the air filters, you know, then more recently, obviously, with the Juice Plus. And the Juice Plus, of course, is going to be the biggest one of all, no question. Simon, how would you describe your role? How would you describe what you do?
I think from the field perspective, excuse me, is I am the link really between the company and you guys. Obviously, I've had some previous experience on the ground in the field, sort of tend to know what you're going through a lot of the time. That makes my job a lot easier. I get involved in so many areas of the company, really, in operations to deliveries, right through to getting payroll done. So I've got my fingers in a lot of pots. My main skill, I would say, is probably sales and marketing at the end of the day, and that's what I enjoy. Getting involved with you guys with meetings and getting product launches done, all sorts of stuff there. And I think probably action in the where we are in the ditches. You guys are in the ditches and you're digging deep, and that's where I really enjoy being.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate everything you do. I mean, you fulfill an incredible role for us, and not least of which, obviously, and that's what we're going to come on to now, is that, you know, 3 years ago, we take ourselves back to 2012, 2011, there was sort of seismic shift in our business. It was like a sort of San Andreas fault suddenly opening up. It was just like, you know, something really, the earth moved, didn't it? What happened, Simon, then, and why did it happen? Just give us a little bit of an overview about what happened.
Yeah, it was a what I call a business tsunami. Yeah, that we would never ever thought would come. And I was in a meeting in Crewe Hall in Crewe in Cheshire 5 years ago, together with, at that time, Katie Ravey, John Holowati, Susie Mitchell. There was Linda Clark, Rob Molyneux. And it was a Saturday afternoon. And you know what? It was one of those events. We've all had lots of events and lots of events going on. One of those events where you walk out the door and you say to yourself, there is something special about today that's going to change things for years to come. We just knew. And we came out of that event, and I can remember seeing Katie in the corner. She had her head dug into what was an Apple Mac at the time. No real connection through the event itself. And I didn't really think a lot of it, actually, at all. And I thought, well, I didn't think, well, Katie's going to do a great deal. John Holowati, yes, got a great connection there, and Rob. And then, of course, you know, Katie found this, what was this social media revolution that we've had through Facebook, which has just been, I mean, it's been unbelievable. That together with the mix of Gen Y coming into the throw as well. And this is what's created this tsunami with our business and in so many other businesses, not just in the UK, but around the globe. And we've got a business now that just charges ahead at a massive rate of knots that no one's ever seen before, certainly in our time in the business.
Great. No, thank you, Simon. Well, there we are. I mean, you know, it's a business of our times, isn't it? Suddenly, everything seems to have coincided and made it such a perfect scenario for us. You know, Simon, obviously, you see a lot of different people in our business, and you see a lot of success stories. You see a lot of brewing success stories. If someone was going to ask you what they would need to do to be successful, what would you say on just a sort of fairly basic level? We'll come on to the question in a moment, what do you have to do to go to the heights in our business? But what has someone got to do to sort of be broadly successful with what we do?
Yeah, I don't think this is a difficult one because, you know, you can study all the successful people in life. And I, like yourself, I'm sure, I've got lots of biographies on people like, you know, the Donald Trumps of this world, the Richard Bransons, the Steve Jobs, people that you look at and you think, wow, I mean, what an amazing company that they built, or companies, over a period of years. I don't think there's a lot special about the principles required in terms of becoming successful. I think the main thing is certainly the person you become, but how you apply these principles over a period of time. And there's a lot of things in the mix on this one. I mean, I think one that probably stands out to me is that all these people have got a massive why. Their why was so huge that whenever any obstacle came up, literally, they walked straight over it. Also, if you look at them as well, most of these people were not successful immediately. It didn't happen within the first 6 months or the year or for even 5 years for some of them. It happened over a period of time. And I think it's the same thing for our business here. We've got a company or any type of business. It's a brick a day. And it's the mental muscle of discipline to do the things you said you were going to do long after the mood left you. Now think about that one. We can all get very excited at an event. We had an event in Brighton not so long ago. We got Birmingham at the end of February. It's easy to get your fire stoked when you've got thousands of people around you. Difficult part, of course, is when you get home into your own environment and life takes over. And it's all about that mental muscle of discipline, I believe. And it's the focus that you've got that takes your energy into what I call the income-producing activities. And you've got to look at what are the income-producing activities in our business, you know, and it's pretty simple. Big thing is talking to people. That is your job, talking to people, right? And it's not thinking about the outcome, because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And you don't know what the success rate is going to be at that time. Now, I've heard it might be talking to 4 or 5, 6 times to one person before they actually look at you and go, do you know what, I'm going to start taking Juice Plus. But what we all do, it's just a human trait. We all look for, I think, success in that initial contact with somebody. And that isn't the case. So our job is to talk to people and not think about the outcome, because the outcome sorts itself out. It's the law of averages.
Brilliant, Simon, brilliant. And I think you exhibit that focus in a very, very strong way. I remember once asking you, well, Simon, what's going on in Germany? And you said to me, we're not interested in what's going on in Germany. We're only interested in what's going on in the UK. So I said, oh, okay. No, it was brilliant, though. It was brilliant. It was absolutely the right thing to say. So, okay. So let's just talk now a little bit about the higher levels. Now, we do see people going up to, people can earn a very good amount of money just at the medium levels. There's no question about that. But we are looking now at some people going up to the high levels. We're talking about people, the £1 million earners.
Right.
Let's be straightforward about it. The £1 million earners, the people have earned £1 million, and there will be more and more of these people. What would you say people have really got to do to go to those really high levels?
If you look at all the big earners, I mean, not just in our industry, I think in life in general, successful people will always do what unsuccessful people won't. I.e., what is that? It's maybe doing an event in the evening. It's maybe missing an important football match. It might be missing your son's birthday even, right? Little things in life that those unsuccessful people or just say, do you know what? To hell with it. I'm just going to go and do that. I've actually printed this off, right, which I put out quite some time ago, and it's the 10 key attributes, I believe, that in my time in the business that make somebody an NMD.
Yeah, and could you take us through that? That'd be great.
I'm just going to go through a few.
Yeah.
These are very poignant. Number one, all these successful people, anybody that gets to NMD has clearly defined goals. Now, they might not make that goal in that month or the month after, but they've got a clearly defined goal to say, do you know what? I'm either going to be waving that flag on top of the mountain or I'm going to be dead in the valley. There isn't going to be any in between. And they've got an unstoppable burning desire. Now, if you look at this as well, we can do a lot of things for people in the field. There's a lot of people think, it's a lot of trainings you can give to people. But I think one thing that you can't do is you can't inject burning desire into somebody. You've either got it or you haven't. And it's not something you can go to the doctors and get a syringe and say, oh, do you know what, I'll have some burning desire today. Please, doctor, give it to me. It doesn't happen, and it's something that we've all got inside us. No matter what hits you, that flame will just not go out, right? Because you want to clearly do something with your life that's above the norm. Another thing about our NMDs is they're our product of the product. So they're always out there. They're doing the shakes. They're taking the capsules every morning, right? They believe in Juice Plus, right? Ultimately, literally they'd jump off a cliff if we weren't given any more Juice Plus. And that's how I feel, right? I shall have Juice Plus until the day I die. But they're an inspirational role model for other people to follow. And they're saying, do you know what? Here I am. I'm doing my customers every month. I'm bringing in people frontline. Try and catch me if you can. Another one is they always remain positive. So they never fill the downlines with negativity. If you've got negativity, you go upline, not downline. But generally, they're very, very positive people. And if there's any negatives around, they last like milliseconds and they're gone. But the people that always lead from the front. They've got unshakable belief in the company, unshakable belief in the product, but I think the more important one is this one. They've got unshakable belief in themselves. That takes time to work on. I've seen that key leaders as well keep everything very simple, very, very duplicatable. You've only got to look at John Holowati, Rob Molyneux, the classic Dumber and Dumber on that one. They're still dumbing it up. Very successful indeed. They've got impeccable work ethics as well. I think that's something as well here. Very, very, very good hard working. And they're very good managers of time as well. You tend to find with these people. But also within the head, they've got this attitude that they are never, ever, ever, ever going to quit. No matter what happens. It doesn't even get into the brain. And I think this is another key one as well, which is critical in our event, our business, which is what we're doing now, and that is the promotion of events and putting on events. That is probably one of the biggest things that makes success of our business, whether it's a Zoom, whether it's a conference call, a webinar, or a meeting. And generally, our leaders always put other people and their downline before themselves. They can never do enough for other people. So they're sort of the top 10, really. I've got probably a top 50, but certainly a top 10 of what an NMD in our business.
Thank you, Simon. That's amazing. And those are all really, really fascinating. Let's just talk a little bit about the corporate side of our business, because obviously, as you said, you're the link between ourselves and the corporate side. And you've had a really good chance to spend a lot of time in big corporate meetings and planning meetings. You've been to Memphis numerous times, of course, which is the world headquarters of the Juice Plus company. Looking inside the company from the corporate perspective, what are some of the things that impress you most about our company from the inside out?
I think probably the number one has to be integrity. That starts with a man down, Jay Martin. He's a man of massive integrity. He puts people first. He's still at the helm of the company today. He's 72, 73 now. He's got a massive vision. He's got massive energy and drive. People is what keeps him going. And that's what I love about the company. It's a company with a heart. And, we basically believe in people. I think it's the end of the day. And that's our job, is to help people become successful. But when you go over to Memphis, I think there's something special about it in the fact that the majority of Jay's older management team, they're still there, right? They've not moved on. Most of them could have retired, right? They don't want to retire. They want to come in the office because they just love what they do, and they're a very reserved management team as well. And what I'm saying that is it's a company that you can count on, that when hard times do come around, and there's plenty of them, let's face it, you've got the ups and the downs and the times when there's the bust and the boom. That's why this company's been around for 45 years. You can count on it. It's got reserves. It can match people's short, medium, or long-term goals, whatever it may be. But that's why I'm still around here after 25 years. It's the ethos that this man, Jay Martin, spreads down from the top down. And it's a beautiful company to work in. It really, really is, where it holds people very, very close to its
Fantastic, Simon. Well, it's wonderful to hear you say that. I mean, certainly from a distributor standpoint, we definitely see that, but to see that in the corporate side as well is amazing. So looking forward, Simon, 2020, it's not a long way away, but it's kind of sort of quite a defining moment, that, isn't it? 2020, we're 5 years towards 2020. Where do you see our business in 5 years' time?
Well, 5 years probably isn't going to take us long to go through, is it? Life seems to zoom past. One thing we're looking to do, of course, is to do a big convention in Dubai. 2020, it's a big expo year in Dubai. They're gearing up for massive business over there. We want to do the same. We want to bring everybody together, hopefully from North America and Europe as well, and have a massive convention in, 10,000, maybe 15,000 people. Something that we've never ever seen to get before in numbers. But I think as time goes on, certainly if I look at the company now, I don't think we've ever been as poised and organised as we are internally, with a very mature management team, certainly in Europe that I see. We've certainly got a very young team in Europe, which is headed up by Dan Holzman, of course. Dan's got a great vision. He's got a great drive for this company. And if we look at where we are in terms of maybe our direct selling industry and our competitors, we probably was somewhere around about $500,000 a year turnover. Now, taking that into the next few years, I believe we're going to be easily multi-billion-dollar company. And if you think that on its own rights, I mean, that is a lot of commissions going out, a lot of new NMDs. Yeah. But we're going to areas where there's massive growth in our industry. I'm talking about Asia is one of them. We've had some staff over in China in the last week, looking to do some business over there. Even in Europe, I mean, we've got big countries there. We've got Turkey, we've got Russia. We're opening Nigeria very shortly. And Dubai is another one that's going to be coming on this next year. I'm not mentioning any dates here, of course, so I don't get myself into any trouble. Because, what we don't know is there's a lot of red tape you've got to go through, certainly in a lot of countries. Israel was one of them. It took a long time to open. And we want to do things properly by going through the regulatory bodies and getting a stamp of approval on our product, that we can market the product there and obviously open the business for you. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes at the moment, and it's something that I've never seen before in my 25 years, that there's a very, very committed focus to really take this company to a multi-billion-dollar arena that we've never been in before. Mm. If you look at the mighty companies around us, I'm talking Amway is one, for instance, that sell thousands of products. Last year they turned over $11 billion. Massive, and they're in over 100 countries worldwide. We're in 23, and I believe that in another 5 years, we're going to be getting close to 30 countries, big countries in Europe.
Yeah. No, it's exciting, Simon. I mean, and thank you very much for that. I mean, I sort of see it, it's like Apple Computers, perhaps in 1995, poised for huge growth, and then the explosion came, and I think that's where we're at. That's wonderful you say that. But look, let's look forward into 2016, because obviously that's just right round the corner. Can you tell us a little bit about Birmingham coming up? Because obviously we've got Birmingham coming up the 26th and 27th of February. The last year was absolutely outstanding. This is going to be even more incredible, I know. Can you tell us a little bit about who's going to be coming as speakers and what's going to be happening, so people can, really get excited about booking in advance, obviously, so that people don't miss out?
Yeah, I can. And James, of course, this last year was amazing in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I think it was a real breakthrough that we had, certainly for a UK conference. We've never seen anything so as big as it is, but also I just think the quality of the whole event. So this next Birmingham is, I believe, going to be even better. Why? We've never been as organised as we are in terms of speakers. We've got some incredible speakers. We've got Jeff Roberti now, who's earned in excess of $90 million in our industry. Biggest income earner in network marketing in history, and is in our business, been committed to our company. He's coming over with his financial advisor and his partner, Gordon Hester. We've got Dr. Mitra Ray, who I believe is probably one of the most or certainly probably the best speaker we've got worldwide on well-being and health and the Juice Plus and its attributes. We've got Professor Manfred Lampret. He heads up our studies now in Europe. We've got 4 more studies which we're doing with Juice Plus. Hopefully we're going to have some information for you there on some studies that have been submitted. And we've also got Europe lines, of course. Bob and Sue Burdick,
yep.
Top earners, top couple earner in our Juice Plus business worldwide. Beautiful couple. And we've also got John Blair. John Blair, he was there. He was the instigator of Juice Plus in the early days and put the whole product line together. He'll be coming and we'll be doing a special 25 years of Juice Plus panel. We've also got Mark Ledoux, who's the CEO and president of Natural Alternatives, our partner that manufactures Juice Plus. You probably saw him at Birmingham this last time. And we've got many more people. We've got Jay Martin, of course, who's making a special trip over. It is going to be absolutely outstanding, right? And we've got a third of the tickets that have gone already, over 1,000. We've got 3,000. It's going to sell out, just guaranteed, just like Brighton did. So my messages to you guys is get your teams on it as quick as you can. We're going to be sold out this side of Christmas. So be there or be square.
Thank you, Simon. That's amazing. And what a lineup. I mean, thank you very much for what you've done there, because, I mean, that is the best lineup I've ever seen for a conference. That's phenomenal. So, Simon, just winding the call down now and finishing off, there'll be some new people listening tonight who are saying, well, I'm just starting. It seems like it's already happening, or perhaps it's already happened. What would you say to the new person who's looking at this for the first time tonight? Perhaps they're on the call for the first time tonight. Well, how would you describe our opportunity to them in terms of what they could do?
Well, I think I would look at, number one is what vehicle are you on at the moment in life? Most people have got a job, of course. JOB stands for just over broke, 30-day survival package. We get jobs to pay bills, let's face it. Most of us get a degree. We end up in a job where we don't even use the degree that we studied for. 90% of people don't. What else do? You get your own business going, and you don't know whether that's going to work out or not. And 9 out of 10 businesses go bankrupt nowadays. Not generally because of bad product line or whatever. It's usually poor management or just no capitalization or poor decisions. Or you've got inheritance, I guess is another one, or maybe the lottery. But at 16 million to 1 in the UK, I wouldn't rely on the lottery. And then, of course, 93% of lottery winners go bankrupt. So I don't think that's a good one either. Where certainly what we've got with the Juice Plus network marketing, it allows the average person to go out there and have the most outstanding life of taking control of your life, because the company does everything for you. You pay £50. We do everything else. We put the product in the warehouse. We do all the research and the development. We do your accounting for you at the end of the month. We pay you a check at the end of the month. We've got all the support system behind with the marketing support here in our office. It is amazing. I'm looking at your business, James, that you started, 28 years ago now?
28 years ago, yeah.
Right, so you paid £50 to get involved, right? Your business has turned over £50 million in that period, which is out. I mean, I know you can see you're looking, thinking, my God, are you sure? Yeah. Now, one thing you didn't have to do was stock £50 million worth of product or get it delivered to the end consumer. I mean, the work that goes on with the company in the background, let me tell you, is unbelievable. And that's why this business opportunity is just second to none. I'd say you have to be nuts not to get involved, right? Is everybody successful? No, they're not. Can everybody be successful? Without doubt. All you need to do is apply a few simple, basic principles, right, and be consistent and be disciplined day in and day out. And you know what? Time wins out, right? The average it takes to get an NMD at the moment worldwide was 7.5 years. Since we've gone into social media, our fastest one was 90 days, right? But I would say on average now, it's going to take you about 18 months to 2 years if you get yourself focused and you're going to work on it. And it's something where you can take control of your life, the rest of your life, if you wanted to. It's not for everybody, but I think it's the most amazing vehicle that you're ever going to come across. And that's why people like Donald Trump and the Richard Branson said, you know what, if I had my time again, I'd do it through network marketing.
Fantastic, Simon. Well, look, thank you very much indeed. We're just over 9 o'clock, everyone. I'm so sorry that we've run over time, but this is just... Yeah, it's your fault. It's outrageous. Look, this has been an incredible call. I mean, Simon, your passion for everything that we do, it just shines through. It's amazing. We couldn't be in a better place together as we are now, ready for something incredible to happen. And we can already see it happening. So, it's such an exciting scenario. So our incredible thanks to you, Simon, for spending your time with us this evening. Thank you very much for staying over at the office, at your Juice Plus bar. But we'll leave you obviously to be serving drinks into the night.
Yeah, I'll have another green tea.
But thank you very much indeed. That's absolutely wonderful. So let's just talk now about next week. Next week, we have Luke Wren, NMD, recently became an NMD in October. He's an American NMD, hugely successful. He's actually Jeff Roberts' personal trainer. And he's going to be with us next week. And then the week after, we've got Dr. Sven Goebel, who's going to be speaking to us from Basel in Switzerland. And he is Dan Holtzman's right-hand man, in a sense, in Switzerland, and huge experience in network marketing, and a really, really professional guy. So that's everything for tonight, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for coming on. We've had something in the order of about 65 people on tonight, and it's been an amazing call. We are recording it, and we'll get that out onto Facebook. But thank you, everyone. Good. And
Cheers, Simon.
Thank you very much indeed. Good night.
Bye.